So in this video, I want to break down into 5 steps that are hopefully as easy as possible to implement, how I ended up getting 3 A stars and 1 A in the A-levels I sat in the summer of 2024. And the first tip is to practice so much that it gets boring. It sounds stupid and you hear a lot of people say you have to enjoy studying, but in my opinion, you can only be certain that you know something really well until you've practiced so many problems that it starts getting repetitive. Even if you feel like you know something, you don't want to risk anything. You almost don't want to waste time in the exam thinking about the problem. Hopefully you've seen one already that's so similar so that you can just instantly start writing and you're kind of on autopilot. And then people will make excuses saying that they've done all the past papers or whatever. But trust me, there are always more questions that you could be doing. Do past papers from other boards, do more practice questions from online websites, maybe even get a textbook from another exam board. There's always more that you could be doing. And the next one is to make a revision timetable. This is so important to keep organized, especially if you have a bunch of different subjects that you need to study for. Just plan a couple days ahead of where you are and mark where your final exam is so that you know you're on track. This also helps so that you make sure that you're hitting the weaker topics with the right frequency. Tip number 3 is to build a study routine that works for you. So I used to wake up around 7:30 during study leave, then straight away start doing a 1-hour session, then go for a shower, then another 1-hour session. Use things like showers and breakfast and stuff as your breaks. And it's really important to take breaks so that you can make sure you can study later in the day as well. I tried a couple times to do 8-hour revision days, but that was a little too much sometimes. So most of the time I stuck to 5 to 6, maybe even 4 hours. Not to say that how long you study doesn't matter, because it does. Don't let people saying like work smarter, not harder, for that to be a cop-out for you not to study as long. Tip number 4 is to do questions that are harder than what you're gonna get in the exam. This kind of carries on from the first tip, which is to make it so that the exam just ends up being so trivial for you because you've done so much practice and so many harder problems than what you're gonna see. If you're used to being able to do harder questions than what you're getting, then the actual thing is going to be way easier. And because you'll find that to be able to do the harder questions, you need your foundations to be really strong, so the questions in the actual exam you sit become second nature. And the 5th and final tip is to use the specification and to keep a document of mistakes and topics that you want to come back to. Trust me, you don't want to sit in an exam and be hit with instant regret when you look at a question because you didn't practice that topic enough. And you definitely don't want to do that by being disorganized. So go through the specification, tick off everything you know, circle anything you don't know, and then as you're doing practice questions and you find that one specific topic is way weaker, mark that, put it in the document so that you come back to that before your exam. And as you do more questions, you might pick up on certain patterns and you find that you can make your own tips for yourself that you can write in that document and read right before the exam. But huge thanks for watching this video. Hope you learned something and I'll catch you guys in the next one.